Glenn Ackerman, Energy Awareness Training with Facebook Live. Our subjects today are energy awareness and parental issues that won't go away. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We were supposed to go on a few minutes ago, but we're going on right now, and I appreciate it. So, as usual is our custom, I usually do a little guitar music before we get started. So, as people are coming on for the live broadcast, appreciate you being here. Hey, Jonas, thanks for being here. I am waving at you. So let's do a couple more things. You're very welcome. You are very welcome. Tell me a little bit about the benefits that you're getting from the work, Jonas. Guitar music as we get underway for today's broadcast. Energy awareness training and parental issues that won't go away. We're going to be discussing today. So we'll give it about another minute. Welcome everybody coming on. Caroline, glad you're here. Yes, I do play guitar. And I sing once in a while when I have the courage. Okay, reading some of the chats. Jonas, you've raised your vibration from your meditations and less neediness for food and women. All right. Great, glad you're here. All right, let me do one piece for you and then we'll get started because I got a lot of content to give to you today. So this is one of the first pieces I ever learned on guitar. Broadcasting soon, energy awareness and parental issues that won't go away. Welcome everybody coming on. We're going to be discussing energy awareness and parental issues that won't go away here in about 30 seconds, just finishing up this beautiful tune. All right. Hey, Rob, welcome. Nancy, welcome. Glad you're here. Dante, as usual, glad you're being there. That was a song doing the cell phone today, trying to keep it upright. Computer just kind of went wiggy. So the show must go on. Hope you guys like that one. It's one of the first tunes I ever learned. Has a lot of different names, but it's a beauty. All right, here we go. Energy awareness and parental issues that won't go away. Happy to be here with you. Got some great information to give you and hopefully some great healing for you also. So appreciate you guys coming on. We've got a lot of people coming on. Oh, Katrina's coming on. Great. Glad you're here too as well. Okay. So my name is Glenn Ackerman, if you don't know me yet or have heard of me, and I have created and I teach a method called energy awareness training. And what that is it's the ability to look at life from an energetic perspective. And when you look at it from an energetic perspective, you can see things that most people can't see. You can understand things most people can understand, and you're able to get information that most people don't have. So this is kind of cool. It's like one of the greatest scientists of our time, Nikola Tesla, had a great quote that said, if you want to really understand the secrets of life, then you have to start looking at things in life in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And Albert Einstein himself said, hey, everything in this world that we're dealing with is energy. And the funny thing about it is, you know, even though our teachers told us in science class, maybe in junior high or in high, that everything is energy, really didn't have much of an impact on us. You know, so when you hear about the terms energy, nowadays you're either thinking about, you know, solar or windmills or oil. That's one kind of energy. And the other kind of energy, when people talk about it, it's kind of like the new age stuff, you know, the airy-fairy thing. Well, I'm talking about science. I'm talking about energies that are established fact in what we're dealing with. Because we all know, based on science, that everything that we're dealing with in this planet is energy, because we're in an energetic planet. So that means our bodies, that means our houses, that means the stuff that we can see, the tables, the cars, the computers, the phones, all that we can see and all that we can't see. You know, infrared light, the air, the wind, all that stuff, whether we can see it or not, it's all energy. And the breakthrough discovery that I made in my life is the ability to be able to read hidden energies. Hidden energies. Now, why do you want to read hidden energies? Well, understand this. In this energetic world we live in, since everything is energy, that means that everything that we're looking at, whether it's our bodies or the weather or a place or an activity, has characteristics. It has a frequency. It has a power, a purpose, a direction, and it gives off information. So this is what I call being energetically aware. When you're energetically aware, you're able to understand and perceive hidden energies that are affecting us. Now, let me explain that for a minute. Hidden energies. What do I mean by hidden energies? Well, all of us, since we're energetic beings, we are constantly sending off energy and receiving energy at the same time. You know that. You go and you meet somebody, you can kind of feel their vibes, what they're sending off. And, you know, people a lot of times tell you what you're sending off. Hopefully it's good thing, but it's energy. And this energy that we have, that we're dealing with, it has these same characteristics, whether it's external or it's internal. So if I'm looking at the weather, for example, the weather has a power, a purpose, a direction, a frequency, and it's giving me off information, which is, you know, if there are rain clouds up, that means it's going to rain, and I have to adjust accordingly. Well, as human beings on this planet, striving to have a better life, we're all interacting with energy every single day. Everything that we do is an energetic exchange. Now, this is a new way of looking at things, and I'll put everything together here as I describe this. So everything that we're dealing is with, we're having an energy exchange right now. You're getting information, you're getting a feeling, you're getting a vibration. Every interaction that we have at work, with our coworkers, with our clients, with our, bosses, you're constantly having an interaction with them. The people that we love, our relationships, our family. Hey, interaction with them, dealing with our health, constant interaction. And all of these things that we do are connected to energy. Now, so when I'm talking about the energy, I could do a whole class on this, but I'm just giving you the highlights because I want to talk about today's topic. But understand that when we're dealing with energy, we're dealing with frequencies, and these frequencies have characteristics. So the breakthrough discovery that this work has made is the ability to see hidden energy, to see things that are below the surface. Now, why is that important? Well, so much of life seems to be a mystery, doesn't it? Why does this happen? Why did that happen? In fact, we're going to be talking about today as far as parents. Hey, Doc, glad you're with me. Appreciate it. So, the energies are so important in our daily interactions because, a lot of us have gone through life wondering why things happen to us. Why did we in this situation? Some of us, why did we have the parents we have? Questions that don't seem to have an answer. Well, if you're aware of these energies, you understand that these hidden energies are constantly trying to influence us. So it's like the easiest example is you want to get on a diet or lose weight, right? And you get excited and wow, I'm going to lose weight. I'm getting on this diet, and you're all excited about it. And for a while, the energies are pulling you towards that goal. Yeah, I'm watching what I eat. I'm going to work out. People do that especially at the beginning of the year, right? New Year's resolutions. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to eat better, etc. And that works for a while. So there's an energy there that's motivating you, that's influencing you to be better, to excel, to go beyond what you did last year, right? To achieve new levels of excellence or new goals, right? And so that energy keeps you going for a while, but it's not long before another energy comes up. And that's the energy that wants to do the exact opposite. There's an energy that says, I really don't want to work out today. I'm going to skip my diet. That kind of thing. So what we have inside us is an internal tug of war, right? And we can feel one energy is pulling us one way and another energy is pulling us that way. And the one thing that everybody wants, no matter who you are, is you want change. You're here and you want to be here. And for many of us, you've made progress in trying to get here, right? Making progress, trying to get up here, and something keeps pulling you back. So we all agree that change is not an easy thing to do. If it was, everybody would have changed and everybody would be happy and rich and thin and fulfilled. Well, we see that's usually the exception, not the norm. And the solution to that is understanding these hidden frequencies. So I look at, and I describe it as an iceberg. The iceberg, 10% above the water, 90% below the water. And the Titanic wasn't sunk by the 10% it could see. It was sunk by the 90% that it couldn't see. So I was saying this is that which we can see, we can control. That which we can't see controls us. And this is one of the answers to the mysteries of why one part of you wants to change and another part of you won't. Or you've made efforts to be better, or to change habits, or change behaviors, or change relationships, and you made a little effort and you don't succeed and the thing falls back. Understanding and dealing with these hidden energies is the new breakthrough, the new paradigm in human performance and self-development. Because when you're able to access and read these energies, then you'll have information and understanding that most people don't. So when you go for a goal, let's say the weight loss thing, and you 2 weeks are on your diet, and then by the third week you're off, and by the fourth week you've quit. What happens? It's disheartening, and instead of having something be enhancing and empowering, you got the opposite. Here's another thing I didn't do. Here's another thing I failed at. What's wrong with me? I don't have enough willpower. And it's not even that. It goes so much deeper than that, because we're dealing with with these hidden energies and these hidden frequencies. Now, I've do a lot of seminars and online trainings about this particular subject. You can find many of them on my YouTube channel. I have a lot of great videos on how energy and energy awareness works on the YouTube channel. But I want to just mention how the energies, because this is going to move us into our topic today. These energies that we have, when I'm talking about our energies, I'm talking about our thoughts, I'm talking about our feelings, I'm talking about our emotions, etc. And it's the way we feel, it's the way we act, it's the way we go about doing the things that we do. Now, sometimes we feel good, sometimes we don't feel good, right? Sometimes we're in control, sometimes we're not. Sometimes you experience deep levels of happiness, sometimes you just, feel that nothing's working out. So there's a constant shift of emotions that they're dealing with. Emotions, thoughts, feelings. I call it energy. This is what I'm talking. I'm talking about the energies that we're dealing with. All right. Now, where do these energies come from? That's the question for today. So my life is in a certain way. And one of the things we teach in energy awareness training is light doesn't come to you, it comes from you. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Light doesn't come to you, it comes from you. So that means that what we're getting when you're energetically aware is the understanding that what I'm seeing, what I'm creating in my physical world is a projection of my internal energetic state, good or bad. But whatever I'm holding, whatever I'm dealing with, I'm creating out there. You might have heard the term the law of attraction or the law of vibration. Well, that's an actual law. Law of frequencies. Frequencies attract the similar frequencies. Vibrations attract the same vibrations, etc. So what happens is that if we're internally holding a lot of stress energy, that stress energy is going to appear, going to be created in our world because that's what we're projecting. And whatever we put out there comes back to us, a cause and effect world. You guys learned that in 7th grade, I think, in science, cause and effect world. So many people don't like the effect that they're getting, right? They like, hey, I don't like my life, or I don't like what's happening, or I feel stuck, or I'm not happy, or I got this issue, or I got that issue. And in dealing with this, you're trying to change it from the iceberg 10%. The 10 only comes at the 90% level. True change only comes when you're dealing with the hidden energies and recognizing what these energies on what's happening with you and have the ability to change that. And that's what we do in energy awareness training. We first of all recognize the energies that we're dealing with. And you're dealing with energy every day. You can't not deal with energies. So as I mentioned, whatever you're doing, whatever you're going to do today, you're going to go to brunch. You're dealing with energy. You're going to go see mom. You're going to deal with energy. You're going to get some work done. You're dealing with energy. It's all an energetic exchange because we live in the energetic planet. Okay, if I've got stuff going on that I don't like, okay, well, that's what we do in the training. We show you how to identify that energy, neutralize the energy, and then reprogram the energy from stuff that doesn't work to stuff that does work. So let me just give you one other thing and then we'll move into to topic. Just giving you the foundation of energy awareness training. Dozens, maybe even hundreds of energies that are affecting us. I boil it down into two headings. Is a high vibrational energy or a high frequency energy, taking what Tesla said, look at things in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Okay, then let's take one energy and have it be a high vibrational energy. And that's the stuff that we want: happiness, joy, peace, fulfillment, abundance, etc. And there's another frequency here that wants to block that. Just like the example I gave about the weight loss. One part of you wants to lose weight, the other part doesn't want to lose weight. One part of you wants to have a happy relationship, the other part of you wants to get out of the relationship. right? We have two things going on. So we have the high vibration energy that we like. We have the low vibration energy that we don't like, the anxiety, the stress, the worry, the issues, the baggage that we're dealing with. So we're dealing with kind of a binary state, so to speak. We're dealing with these two energies. Okay, now, in contemporary life, if you got a problem, what do you normally do? Well, if you got a problem and you don't know the answer to it, or if you're dealing with some kind of stress, anxiety, worry, or some issues or grief, etc., people normally go and seek out a counselor, and they normally seek out, a professional, and they talk about it, and maybe if they can prescribe, you get meds, which is great. We found, though, if you look at the studies, that method isn't all that successful. So the common way that we're dealing with stuff is usually, well, unless it's really bad, I'm just going to stuff it down. I'm just going to ignore it, or I'm just going to deal with it, and maybe it'll go away. But it doesn't go away. These energies are having a great effect on us. So we have what I call three types of energies that we're dealing with in the low vibration. The high vibration, you don't need any help with. When you're feeling good, when life is good, when you're abundant, when you've got love and the sun shining, it feels natural, because that's our natural state. Where we have the challenge is with this low vibration, with the anxiety, with the stress, with the worry, with the thoughts in our head, that voice inside us that always trying to look at the negative part, look at what's wrong or what's not working out, etc. So we're having to balance these energies, and through our thoughts, feelings, emotions, behaviors, which create our life. Okay, so what I show people how to do in energy awareness training is to be able to recognize those hidden energies and dissolve it. People who are dealing with fear, anxiety, stress, worry, etc. And those energies can be dissolved pretty quickly. Today, what I want to talk about is the energies that don't get dissolved so quickly. The energies that have been with us that we've had to deal with our parents. Now, today's Mother's Day, and love and blessings to all the mothers out there, and I hope you guys have a great day on that. So if you had a great mother experience, hallelujah, good for you. Love and blessings. In my work, in the work that I've done personally on myself, in my own recovery work, and in the recovery work I do with other people, recovering from what? We're all in recovery. If you're walking this planet Earth, you're recovering from something. And most of us, or at least a good chunk of us, are recovering from our parents. From there's usually one parent that we had a run-in with, and that's still affecting us. Now you say, still affecting us? How can that be? Well, the way that it can be is simply this. I'll give you an example. When I was living and growing up as a teenager, and I had a loving home, but there was a lot of strife in it, and there was a lot of yelling and a lot of screaming and and it was a situation that was unsafe. And I thought, wow, I got to get out of here. I can't deal with this. It's just too much. Did it happen to you? Anybody on the call? Can you relate to that? You had good parents, but man, they just fought like cats and dogs, or one of your parents had a problem and foisted it on the rest of the family, and it was hard to take. So I left home thinking that, okay, well, I'm going to get away from that, and then I'm going to have the life that I want. Well, even though I was done with that situation wasn't done with me. And I carried that stress and anxiety and fear into my life. And it started showing up in all areas. And I thought, wow, why do I still have those anxiety feelings? Why do I still have those stress feelings? And there's nothing to be stressed about, I can see, but it's just the old thing. Why? Because it's an energy. It's an energy. And this is the latest research that is becoming well known now with two important studies. One with Dr. Bruce Lipton in his book called Biology of Belief. And the other one is with a book that's on the bestseller list right now. Well, reading some of these. Wow, Caroline, reading about that. Holy smokes. Yeah. I think we can all relate to this before I make my main point. I think we can all relate to, the parental upset that we had growing up. And, it's really not cool to talk about it, or at least it wasn't then. Nobody wants to talk about family because there's usually some family shame. There's usually some family secrets. I'll give you an example. The family next door where I was growing up, it was an Irish family, and the husband and the wife had 3 kids. One of them was a guy my age, a daughter, and they had a guy who was in a wheelchair. He was crippled, and the father was trying to keep this steady here. The father was way too much, but every Wednesday, at a local bar and get totally wasted. I mean, drunk as a skunk. And he would come back. I remember seeing this a couple of times. He would come back staggering, and he could barely walk. And the house next door, all I had to do was look over the fence, and I can see, you can see inside the house. So he walks in the house, and I was working on my bike or something, and then all of a sudden I hear this screaming and yelling, and I look over the fence, and there's this guy, this normally mild-mannered guy, he's got his belt out, and he's just whipping everybody he can get a hold of, man. He's just terrorizing his family. He even starts whipping the kid in the wheelchair, and then the guy my age tries to stop him, and it's just like, holy smokes. And then the police come, but nobody, and they never talked about it. And I asked, so thank God that didn't happen to me, but you can only imagine what I've been through growing up. And I want to talk about that today. Now, with my point, the work I'm doing and the research I'm doing is backed by 2 important sources. Again, Bruce Lipton, Biology of Belief, and a new book that's on the New York Times bestseller list called The Body Keeps Score by Dr. Bessel van der Kolk. Talks about the effect of trauma and where it came from and how it still stays with us. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So this is what it means to be energetically aware, to know that we're having energy interactions with whatever we're doing. Now, the most important one we're having an energetic exchange with is ourselves, in the ability to manage our thoughts, our memories, our feelings, our emotions, etc. And for many people that I work with, I teach energy awareness training. I do healing, clearing, energy management, energy training here in my office in West Hollywood and online, both personal one-on-one coaching and online classes, videos, video training, etc., teaching this method of energy awareness. And it's probably the most important thing that you can learn. If you want to make a big change in your life in 2019, I recommend that you learn energy awareness training, because it changed my life and it's going to change yours. Because imagine having another 40 to 50% perception of what's going on. Okay, think about that. Every day we have to make decisions on what's good for us. The food we eat, the people we hang out with, the investments, the job we do, and all of us want to make great decisions. But sometimes we make wrong decisions. Why is that? Because we don't see the whole picture, right? Have you ever done something, been in a relationship or an investment or a job, and you say, and in the beginning it looked great, right? Looked great. Then you got involved in it, and then stuff started coming up that you didn't see, and all of a sudden what was good turns into a nightmare, and you go, if only I had known then what I know now, I never would have done this, or I could have saved myself time, money, etc. Well, That's what it means to be energetically aware. When you're energetically aware, you can see the energy, the frequency, the direction, and the information about a person, place, thing, decision, etc. before it happens, not after, before it happens. And isn't that more valuable? You know, hindsight's 20/20. But imagine if you can operate from a place of knowing and to be able to know the future. And if you're energetically aware, you can know the direction of where things are headed. If you can read how the hidden energies work. I did a whole class on this, won't do that today, but this gives us a clue. The high vibration energy is moving us up. That's a big subject going on right now. I think I did a whole class on that too, but essentially it's one part of you is going one way and the other part of you is going the other. And one part of you knows you want to make a change, but the other part's not letting you make the change. Okay? That's having that sabotage thing go on. And remember, President Abraham Lincoln said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." Okay. So that's the background and the foundation. Went by it fast, but if you want any more information on any of these topics that I just went through, it's on my YouTube channel, Energy Awareness Training. Okay, let's move on. So in low vibration energy, this is the stuff that we don't want. It's called stress, anxiety, fear, upset, worry. That's the stuff that we don't want. Well, we have to deal with stress and anxiety and challenge every day. Just getting up and going to work, getting up and dealing with your family, as much as you love them, sometimes it's stressful dealing with your family, right? Making money, staying healthy, dealing with the various challenges in our lives as human beings. So we're dealing with three kinds of what I call low vibration energy. So the first one is the daily stress that we deal with. And I reckon it's just like use the metaphor of taking a shower. Every day we go walking around, we get sweaty, we get dirty, we got to take a shower, we got to clean our energy, right? If you don't clean your body. If you don't clean your body, what happens? Well, you might get away with it for a day or two, but after that, the neighbor's going to start talking, or people at work, etc. So that's the process of cleaning. We all know that. We got to keep clean our bodies. We clean our cars. We clean our houses, right? Things got to be clean to be maintained. But nobody told us that we got to maintain our energy. That just as we have a physical body, we also have an energetic body. And even though you can't see it, it can be measured now with the work of Dr. Vanderkloek. They can actually measure energy states in people, and they can measure whether it's they can measure the frequency of the energy and know whether it's a high vibration or a low vibration energy. So you have to keep your energy clean all the time. And we have a very, very respected nutritionist and dear friend of mine on the line who's taught millions of people the importance of health and proper diet. But here's the one thing that's missing from all the health books you hear. The number one enemy of your health, the number one cause of emotional and physical ailments is stress, worry, anxiety. According to the National Institute of Health, over 90% of all conditions, physical and emotional, are caused by stress, long-term stress, anxiety, fear. Now, as we mentioned before, these are energies inside us that are working, okay? So all of us being energetic beings, we come into this world. And as we come into this world, we come into this world with an energy. And this is, all of these things I could do classes on, but well, I'll just give you the headlines now. We come in with joy. You see a little baby, they're always happy, 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 right? Children, happy, happy, happy. And then they start to get older and start to live life more. They start to get more unhappy. The ego creeps in, and it's about me, mine, what's in it for me, what am I going to get for it, et cetera, et cetera. Just going to read some of these comments here. Yes, You're right, Carolyn. Eastern medicine has known for thousands of years that stress is the cause of ailments. Unfortunately, we have a different viewpoint here in the West. So the thing about it is that in the Oriental medicines, they deal with the energy first. There was a great PBS series on healing in the mind. I think it might still be on YouTube, where they took the head of the Harvard Medical School with Bill Moyers, and they took him to China, and they researched the different health methods to keep people healthy. And it's interesting. You got to pay the doctor every month for him to take care of you. And if you get sick, you don't have to pay the doctor, or you don't pay the doctor that. The doctor comes over real quick when you're sick to help you out. It's an interesting way that they do that. But they work with the energy first. Now, you may have heard this term energy. It's also known as the life force. It's also known as prana. It's also known as chi. It's also known as the ruach, ki, etc. And this energy, these energies that we have, again, there's two aspects of it. There's the healthy energy and there's the unhealthy energy. And just like in our activities, there's healthy activities and there's unhealthy activities. And you know what the energy is, because the healthy activities bring more high vibrational energy, more health, more goodness, more blessings, etc. The unhealthy stuff will give you a temporary high or a temporary fix, but ultimately it'll bring low vibration energy, sickness or dis-ease or unhealthiness, etc. Okay. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. So we have our daily stress we're dealing with, we have our regularly occurring stress we're dealing with, and we have our long-term stress, or long-term, what I call low vibration energy. Because remember, all of us, again, are energetic beings. And the energies that are inside us, and there's a multitude of energies, they affect our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our memories, our well-being, etc. So it's interesting when people think, do you have free will? That's a big question I get all the time. Do you have free will? Well, yes and no. You do have free will on some things, and some things you don't. Well, how can you not? Here's why. Because the hidden energies that are inside you shape and influence your programs. So how do you know what the hidden energies are doing? Well, when you're energetically aware and understand how the frequencies work, you can see what the results. If the results of an activity brings me happiness, joy, peace, fulfillment, I know that's a high vibration energy, and that's going to lead to long-term fulfillment. I also know if I'm participating in an activity that may give me some upfront pleasure, but long-term pain, drugs or alcohol or illicit affairs or, food binging, etc., or gambling. Not that any of those things are bad in themselves. Maybe the illicit affairs are, but the food but if you use it to medicate yourself, to deal with that low vibration energy, that's going to take you in a direction that you don't want. It's going to create more suffering. It's going to create more dis-ease. It's going to create more stress. Okay. So these are the energies that we're dealing with here. Okay. I give you a quick course on the foundations of energy awareness training. All right. Now, let me just check in with everybody, seeing how we're doing. Yes. More than meets the eye. Absolutely. Hey, whoa. Glad you're here. There's so much more going on than meets the eye. And that's the power of energy awareness, the awareness. So here's an example. I deal with work with a lot of people and get some great stories. So I'm going to profile a couple of stories. I'm going to change the names since we're talking about the parental issues. So we have, just like I had some challenges. There was a guy, I call him Les, and Les lived in a house where, middle class, pretty much like the rest of us, but his mother was an alcoholic, And his mother, by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, was completely drunk and for the rest of the day and the night. And he had to deal with having to parent himself and his younger sister and brother, because the father was at work and the mother was drunk. And as a result of that, that put an enormous amount of stress on a young child. And when the child has to be the parent, there's a dysfunctional energy that appears. And these energies, they don't just appear, they appear and they latch on, or they continue to influence. You can say latch on, it's created in your energy body. A lot of different ways to describe it, but what happens is that this energy and the situation that you're dealing with is basically a trauma, because you're having to deal with, what's a trauma? Having to deal with some situation you're not emotionally or physically prepared to deal with, and that's overwhelming. So when we deal with these things, and all of us we have to make decisions about how to deal with this thing. In his situation, Les grew up as a kid. He said, "Well, you can't count on my mother. I'm going to have to take care of myself. I guess I can't count on women to be there, because they say they'll be there and then they let me down." That was his paradigm as a 11-year-old child. Now, fast forward it to relationships 20 years later, 30 years later. This hidden energy starts to show up as chaos in personal relationships. And indeed, he had a pattern of attracting women that he was crazy about, that he thought could have long-term potential, and they turned into or had habits or situations he didn't know about that caused the same kind of dysfunction that he had growing up. And so what happens when we're dealing with our parents, for example, I know some parents just walk down on their kids when they're young. Where'd they go? Mom walks out or dad walks out. Well, when you're a kid, how do you deal with that? You're trying to make sense of this. And what happens is even as a child, you've got these two frequencies, high vibration and low vibration frequencies that you're dealing with. And the low vibration energy always likes to spin. That's why we have this voice in our head that always says, it's not going to work out. You're not good enough. It's too much work. It's just like one loudspeaker of negativity that we have to deal with, that all of us have to deal with. I thought I was the only one, but we all have to deal with that voice that wants to pull us into what I call a low vibration energy zone. It's a place where we go where that low vibration energy, anxiety, stress, worry, fear, doubt, lack, limitation, depression, obsessiveness, etc. All that unhealthy stuff lay. So Les came to me. He says, "This pattern in my life, I'm dealing with a lot of anxiety and stress and relationships, and this is my third marriage, and it's going the way of the first two. I think there's a pattern here. Can you help me?" Yes, of course we can. That's what we do in energy awareness training. We identify the patterns. You've got to identify them because it's an energy, and that's how they work. This might be all new to you. But believe me, this work is created miracles for me, because I was on the personal development merry-go-round, taking course after course, seminar after seminar, trying to fix myself, trying to get rid of my stress, my anxiety, my worry. Thinking that I could do that. Where did it come from? It came from my house growing up. Okay, now I went and did some talk therapy. And what did people say to me? The guy said, "Get over it. It's in the past. Deal with the future." Okay, get over it. Okay, forget about it? Well, I got my thoughts in my head are constantly bringing it up. How can I forget about it when the thoughts in my head are bringing it up all the time and then triggering me? You know, a lot of people get triggered. Mother's Day, Christmas, family outings. I have another student, I'll call him Kevin. Grew up in a middle-class family and had a mother that just harassed him from day one. He says, man, from day one, what I can remember, I just harassment. And what are you doing? That's not good enough. What's wrong with you? Just put down, put down, put down, put down, put down. Finally, he said, I can't take it anymore, and he moved to Europe. And he got wind of my work and said, look, I haven't lived at home in 25 years, but I can still hear my mother's voice, nagging at me and ordering me and putting me down, etc. Okay, so what is that? It's an energy that gets transferred. When we have to deal with low vibration energy, trauma energy, upset energy, especially as kids, because when you're kids, you're pretty vulnerable, right? That's why kids are so suggestible, because their energy fields are wide open. So if you're dealing with that constantly, that creates issues. That creates baggage. And as a result, the issues it created for Kevin moving up into that situation was he's still dating multiple women at age 50. Looking for his. He says, "Oh, I'm looking for my wife," and I said, "But you keep going out with 10 girls at a time," and he says, "Well, I like my fun." Okay, well, there's a little lie going on in there, because there's a different energy that you're in when you're looking for a committed long-term relationship, marriage partner, versus you're just you're good time Charlie, dating the next girl, that comes along. So these are issues that we're dealing with. So here's what I want to mention about today. Some of you have stuff going on with parents. I know I did. And here's what first thing I want to tell you. The ability to make peace with your parents or with the memories of your parents is one of the most vital things to awaken and to transform. So I believe that we've come here for a purpose. Energetically, you guys probably have heard that our energies never die. These energies have always been created. They're eternal. So energetically speaking, we are energetic beings housed in a physical body. Now, it's kind of like a paradox, because our energies are eternal, but our bodies are finite. So one day we're going to toss these bodies, but our energy is going to continue. Okay? And I believe that we're here on this planet to learn, to grow, to evolve, to recover. I think everybody here is here to recover. And you're in recovery whether you like it or not, because whatever happened to you, you have to deal with it. It's not something you can just leave behind, because the memories are there, the energies are there. And if you've gone through, serious emotional upset, that energy is still hanging in there. And it's hanging in there to create more chaos, more distraction, more disruption. It doesn't just sit there hanging out. So remember, energy is always expanding, whichever energy it is. Okay, energy is, our universe is expanding. So if you're in a high vibration energy state, and that's the state that you want to be in. That's in my training, I teach you how to be in a high vibration energy state every single day. Then you're going to create more of that frequency, more happiness, more joy, more love, more abundance. Because that's the law. It has to attract its own vibration. However, if you're still dealing with negative memories, if you're thinking about something that happened, with mom or dad, today we'll talk about mom, and there's still you can still feel an energetic constriction there, that means that it's still having an effect on you. And this is why people are frustrated. That's why you're here, you want to be there, and you get up there and something pulls you back. Well, what is that thing that's pulling you back? What's pulling you back are these hidden energies, these hidden frequencies, you can call it your baggage, your issues, the stuff that you've been through that's still churning away inside your energy body. That is, holy smoke, that's the answer to why life is so frustrating and why we can't change. And the breakthrough with energy awareness training is to identify what those hidden energies are and to know how to dissolve them. Okay? And I have videos on that, and as well as trainings. But let's keep with the topic today, because I want to give you some valuable tools on dealing with it. The first one is recognize that we're here on this planet to recover, to heal, to grow, to transcend. That's why we have things happening to us all the time. You know, there's nobody who gets a free ride in this world. No one. Everybody's got to deal with a certain amount of things. So the first step is recognizing, okay, I'm here to learn, to grow, and evolve, as opposed to just kick back and think that life's supposed to serve me and everything's supposed to be great all the time. That's not the way it is down here. I'm sure you've had the experience. However, the process goes as we learn how to heal, as we learn how to let go, as we learn how to release the energies and the emotional upsets and the traumas and the stuff that we've been through. Those are like chains that are unhooked from us so that we can become more happy, more joyful, so we can have a greater experience. So again, the high vibration energies that I was talking about are here to lift you up, are here to have you grow, to be more what you can be. The low vibrations or energies are here to block that. And they block that by causing chaos, distraction, disruption, upset, disagreement, procrastination. Any of those things pull us out of our happiness and joy to have to deal with worry, doubt, or fear. Okay, so if you ever heard of the Course in Miracles talk about there's either two places that you're in, love and happiness or fear and doubt. One of these two. And the body, these are gears that the body is in. If you're in a happy, joyous state, you know, you're in a high vibration energy gear, and that's going to create more high vibration energy. If you're dealing with a regular diet of worry, stress, doubt, fear, that's a low vibration energy gear that's going to create more of the same. Okay? All right. Now, let's talk about our parents, the parents with regards to energy. So, as much as we love our parents, we all have to deal with issues regarding them. Some people have it easier, some people don't. But as I was mentioning, some of the stories that take place, the first thing, as I mentioned to you, is to be aware that we're here to recover and we're here to heal. Okay. The next thing is for you to be able to look at the parent situation. If you're still dealing with parental pain or memories, etc., is to be able to look at it from here. See, most of the time when we think about, how a parent did something to us, I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to buy a BB gun. I wanted my dad to buy me a BB gun. Now, you can imagine how I was, right, at 10, 11 years old. My dad just would not buy me that BB gun. He says, not going to do it. Nope, sorry. And I hammered him. Come on. All the kids have it. I'm the only guy on the block without a BB gun. Pop says, no way. Now, being 11 and 12 years old, what did I think? I thought, wow, he's mean. He doesn't love me. All the other kids' fathers give him BB guns, but he didn't give me a BB gun. Ugh. Actually, I think my mother told him also, no freaking way you give him a BB gun. So thanks, Ma, right? Now, looking at it from an 11-year-old or 12-year-old perspective, right? I'm like, they're mean. They don't love me. They don't want to make me happy. They're my enemy. Why are they so mean to me? Right? That's the way you look at 11, 12 years old. Now, you look at it as an adult. As I look at it right now, my dad was absolutely right not to buy me a BB gun, because I would have done nothing but cause mayhem around the neighborhood, probably shoot at every street light there is, right? Now, I can see that now. I can see that from a different perspective, but that doesn't necessarily change the energy inside. See, even though you have a different perspective, it doesn't change the energy, but it's the first step. And it's the first step to changing the program that we have in our heads about our parents and what they did. So as we look back, the other change is you'll be able to turn a corner in your life when you recognize that your parents were just people. You know, when we're growing up, our parents are gods. Mommy, daddy, you know, whatever they say. You know, they're our whole worlds. They're, you know, our dad's our role model, and mom's our, you know, our savior, she's everything to us. So we do whatever they say is gospel, right? And then as you start to grow up, you think, okay, you know, I remember my mom telling me some stuff, and I go, you know, I believed everything she said up until I was about 13 or 14, and I'm thinking, you know, my mom's telling me about all kinds of different things, and about, I think it was a conversation about sex and the birds and the bees, and my mom had some interesting theories about that, and I'm like, is that the way it is? I don't know about that. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But when you turn around and look at that as your parents as just two human beings who tried the best they could, who had no training on how to be a parent. Most parents, 99.9% of parents have no training. You know, you think, oh, you know, you fall in love or you get married. Oh, would it be nice to bring a little baby into the world? Oh, yeah. You have no idea. Those of you who are parents, holy smokes, you had no idea. You got to take care of this little creature 24/7, you know, and it's pooping and it's barfing and it's crying and it's keeping you awake, you know. No one's trained for that. There should be, but there's no training for that. So as adults, you know, having the baby stresses you out. You got stress, you've got anxiety, right? You've got worry, you've got fear. I hope that I'm doing this right. I don't like this. And what do those energies do? They come and they impact, they attach themselves to our energy body. That's what the parents do. And then you're growing up, and you've got this kid going, I want this, I want that, I want this, I like that. I mean, you know, I put my parents through a lot. I was one of those kids, Ma, can I have some candy? Ma, can I have a new mitt? Ma, can I have a football? You know, can I wanna? Drives your parents nuts. Now, we learn that these are energies. Stress, anxiety, worry, fear, it's an energy again, and it attaches itself to your energetic body. It attaches itself. That means you can still feel it. And it's still going to be affecting you. So I remember, those of you who know Dr. Wayne Dyer had a great story who said, you know, he had 6 brothers and sisters. And one day his father walked out on him when he was like 6 or 7 years old. Father just took off. And it was an interesting story. He had to grow up, they lost the family, he had to grow up in an orphanage, and his mother got him back. And man, he was pissed off at his father, and he wanted to kill him for leaving him, for leaving his mother, for putting us under harbor, making my mother go on welfare and losing the kids, and a lot of anger, a lot of stress, a lot of resentment, etc. Until he had a shift. And the shift was, okay, my father left. And he went and searched for his father, actually. He went looking around to see if he could find him. And he got wind that father had passed away, and he was buried in a, what do they call them? Potter's graves, you know, for poor people, people who were indigents. He was some grave down in Mississippi. Really interesting story about how this came into place if you ever get a chance to hear it. And what Wayne said was, he goes, I recognize now that I may have chosen my parents. Imagine that. Have you ever heard that before? You choose your parents? Well, I can hear all you guys out there saying right now, I don't think you choose your parents, because if you chose your parents, I wouldn't have chose the parents I had. Really? Okay. Well, that's what you say down here. But maybe up there, before you're getting ready to come down here, you had some lessons to learn. And that's the purpose of our parents, to teach us lessons, to teach us to grow, learn, and evolve. And sometimes they don't even know that they're doing it. They don't even know the exact way. So when Wayne Dyer's father passed away of alcoholism, there came a moment in Wayne's life where he said, okay, I see there's a bigger picture here. In the third dimension reality, what I see is, a father abandoning his children, a husband abandoning his wife, getting into alcoholism, dying. I think the guy died at 45, and that was the end of him. But for Wayne, he recognized that maybe, just maybe, in the bigger picture, maybe he chose that parent to learn a lesson. And that's what he believes. He believes, I think I chose my parents so that I could learn how to be self-sufficient. And she said that was a big lesson that I had to learn, how to be self-sufficient with my feelings, with my emotions, with my money, etc., and how to learn how to be self-sufficient and to be able to take care of my brothers and sisters. So what I want to mention to you is that there's a bigger picture going on than you can think. If you still have resentments towards, mom or dad because of what they did, okay, well, we can accommodate that for a minute. But the first step is to be able to see there's a bigger process going on here than you thought. And that's what it means to be energetically aware. If you just are offended by what a parent did to you, they shouldn't have done it, it was wrong, well, maybe you're right. But there's a bigger picture to take place. And the bigger picture is there's a lesson that you need to learn. There's something that you needed to go through. Now, when we talk about the journey of our energy or the journey of the souls, that's an even bigger picture. And that explains more of the whys of why we go through what we go through, and karma and past lives, you believe them, or what we get from our ancestors, what's passed down through the genes. We're not going through that today. But what we are dealing with is dealing with our parents and the stuff that they've dealt with. Let me check a few of these comments here. Carolyn, thank me. These are good stuff here. Yeah. The lesson itself. And so for me, I had that same lesson too, self-sufficiency. I left home when I was 17, just turned 17. I had another year to go officially, legally, but I couldn't take it anymore. I just went out and worked my way through high school. I went to a private high school and I worked my way through it, as well as trying to find a place to crash because, of the issues that my parents were going through. And so what are we talking about? We're here to heal. We're here to recover. We want to look at the parental situation from this place, from as an adult looking back, not from a kid looking up. Hold on, let me close the door here. I think Fido had some issues with his parents. All right. At any rate, so you look back at it from an adult point of view, and you recognize, okay, just what I just said. When I was 12, my dad was an ogre and a meanie. As an adult, I would have done the same thing he had done, and that is a different paradigm shift. No longer am I making him wrong for what they did. Now, some of you had mothers who had some deep emotional issues. I had one. I had a mother who went through a lot of trauma and never talked about it. She never talked about whatever traumatized her, but it all came out in irritability, in anger, in being short, in the way you talk to people, the way she talked to us, etc. Is like, whoa, there's something driving this anger. There's something driving this upset. Now, I was mad at her for a lot of years. When I left my house, I didn't speak to my mother for 5 years because it was that unpleasant. And it was kind of weird because, my dad was my good guy, but he never wanted to cross my mom. Maybe some of you can relate to that. Mom ran the show hook, line, and sinker, and she said what went. And I had to work through that, and for years I couldn't understand why a mother would yell and scream and put her child down or try to do other stuff. Maybe sometime I'll share about this, but it was pretty intense stuff. At any rate, so it took about 10 years, and then I began to see my mother not as my mother anymore, but I began to see her as a young girl who was trying to find her way, who was orphaned, and who never really found the maternal love that she needed, and accumulated trauma, accumulated stress, accumulated all this stuff, had no idea how to handle it. As most people do, you just stuff it down. You stuff it down. Well, remember, energy is always expanding. So you can stuff the energy down, but it's going to keep expanding in your energy body. And it's going to come and wreak havoc when you least want it to. So this is why when you see people with uncontrolled behavior, it's like, wow, it's crazy. It's a throwback to a deeply upsetting or traumatic emotion that they went through. And I can see that. And actually, I started doing this work when my mom was still alive, and she started making progress. She was in misery all the time. Just, how you doing, Mom? Oh, my head. Oh, my back. Oh, okay. Have a nice day, Mom. Oh, my head. It's just like one downer after the other. And I tried to help her, when I started learning energy medicine and energy psychology, and she started making a little progress. She started becoming a little happier. And I thought, wow, how great would that be if I could help my mom get back to happiness? Because it wasn't just the emotions, it was see, what happens is in your energy body, if you're holding any kind of stress in your energetic body, it's going to expand and it's going to start to affect your emotions, and it's going to pull you into a low vibration energy zone where there's anger, stress, fear, worry, upset, where you can be you can be set off for just one word, like, whoa, what happened? So, and then I did about 3 sessions with someone better. She started to be happier. Way, I felt so good about it. And you know what happened? When I went to give her the next session with her, she says, nope, don't want to do that anymore. Nope, that's not for me. Nope. I said, why? You're feeling better, aren't you? You didn't want it. She totally shunned me on and never let me work with her again. And I thought, why? Why would that happen? And I began to realize that for years, when my mom was going through her illness or her I guess you could call it an illness, where we had to be very quiet when we walked around, and we can, no TV after 9 o'clock, and everybody tiptoe in the morning. It's like we had to walk on eggshells. And if that went away, the low vibration energy is, well, if you get cured, if you get back to normal, then people won't respect you anymore, or people won't have the same love for you. You better keep this. And that's called secondary gain, and that's something when you're working with people you've got to be aware of, because when people are in a low vibration energy state for a long time, and they've learned how to, they're used to dealing with anxiety, stress, fear, sickness or health challenges, that ingrains itself with a certain amount of familiarity. And then the low vibration energy tries to scare you if you have a chance to get back to normal, if you get a chance to dislodge this stuff. The low vibration energy thoughts are go, wait a minute, I don't know, man. I don't know if you want to be, you might lose your status. And that's what happened with her. And she wouldn't let me work on her again. And she had another 10 years of that kind of thing before she passed, unfortunately. But so the way I healed it and the way I help other people to do the same thing is, first of all, to change that perspective and look at it from an adult. And when you look at it from an adult, when you call your parents by their first names, it's a shift of perspective, because they're just trying to deal with the lunatic in their head. They're trying to deal with their pain. They have no idea how to deal with it. And that's where the process of healing takes place. The process of healing takes place when we recognize, you know what? Instead of me just taking it personally and making it all about me and what they did to me and I'm a victim and it's their fault, all of that stuff, tossing it aside and going, wait a minute, what kind of suffering were they going through? What kind of challenges were they dealing with? I mean, can you imagine our parents, in 50, 60, 70 years ago, whenever they were born, what they had to deal with, in making a living and in dealing with their health and dealing with their parents. So that's a powerful thing. And it was really a life changer that helped me a lot to be able to get the lessons. So on this Mother's Day, stuff comes up for us. And even though, I had to work through a lot of hurt and pain with my own mother, I'm focusing on what was good. I'm focusing on the years when she was a great mother. I'm focusing on the opportunity that all the good stuff, not dwelling on the bad stuff. I'm dealing with what am I grateful for? And whatever your situation is growing up with your parents, you got a lot to be grateful for. Even if one of them was a monster, you still have stuff to be grateful for that you made it, because that's what we're here for. We're here to move through these fires, to be tested. Steel is only tested, through fire, through intensity. You're wiser, you have more compassion, and you feel better. So those are the key things I want to mention to you. Let me just go over them real quick. Number one, recognize that you're here to heal. That's what you're here. You're here to heal and recover from what you've been through. And what you've been through in this life probably didn't start as heredity. In the new science of epigenetics, shows that scientifically we pass down our energies to the next generation. And since most people have had to deal with a lot of suffering, that's some of the stuff that handed down too. Good stuff, but also challenge as well. Okay, now recognize that you came here to learn a lesson. And be grateful for that lesson. Yeah, it was a lot of pain, it was a lot of struggle, but you came here to learn a lesson. And until you recognize that, you're going to still be in the bonds of what they did to you. The lesson that parent taught you, maybe how to be self-sufficient, how to love yourself or approve of yourself if nobody else does, right? Or how to find lasting healthy love. That could be something too. Very important to do that. And to get that, you may have picked your parents, and if you got for picking them, I think that's so important. All right. If anybody have any questions or any aspects, let me go to the chat here before we do our last exercise and then call it a day. Good. Yeah, good. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you. Good quotes on here. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to do a little process. Now, remember this. In energy awareness training, it's cool to talk about these things because it gives us great insight. But nothing changes until energy moves. Remember that. Nothing changes until energy moves. So I can know, why I was traumatized. I can know why, I had an upsetting family. I can know all that stuff, but the energy's still sitting in me. Okay. So in energy awareness training, we have multiple methods to be able to move the energy out. First of all, to recognize it and then move the energy out. And I show some of those methods on my courses and in my channel. But today, I just wanted to lead you through a brief 3-minute exercise to have you have a great day and process what we've gone through in the class today. Okay, just checking out here. Okay. Question: how do you get past these episodes of fear that keep coming up? Well, you have a couple of choices. You can neutralize and deal with the fear as it comes up, which I don't recommend, because you're still fighting. See, it's like the fear comes up. What do people do? You have a fear or worry thought comes up, and what do most people say to do? Well, just think positive, or don't think about it, right? Or put it past you. Well, that's having one thought going, I'm still in pain over what happened. No, you should get over it. But I'm still in pain. No, I should get over it. I should pain. Right? You can't move. Einstein said you can't move into a new situation if you're situation. So I recommend, I'm going to do a quick exercise with you now, but I recommend you studying energy awareness training to get rid of all the fear. See, that's not the only fear you have. You've got more of that. And rather than just doing onesie-twosies, I recommend people just identify and dissolve whatever their hidden patterns, whatever the hidden energies are, and neutralize, dissolve it, recognize it, dissolve it, and move into daily high vibration. It's a training. It doesn't happen by a thought or a technique. It's like getting into shape. You're out of shape the first day. What do? There's a training process that has to take place. There's certain things you have to do every single day if you want to be healthy and if you want to be slim. Now, if you don't do them, you're not going to be slim or healthy. But if you do them on a regular basis, that's going to be your default mechanism. So that's what I would recommend. But let me show you something really good right now. Let me just take you through a little bit of a process that will help you greatly. So go ahead and sit up in your chair if you would. Keep your spine straight. And a little hydrate if you have anything to hydrate with. Okay, go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to put your attention on the bottom part of your spine, what I call the center point. That's between your belly button and your tailbone. And I just want to take some nice, easy breaths to start moving the energy. So we want to get out of our head all of our suffering, and all of the agony comes from the thoughts. Well, the less you think, the more peaceful you are. Okay, I repeat, the less you think, the more peaceful you are. So that's why meditation works. We do an energy awareness meditation. It's the easiest way to learn. So let me show you some of what we do. So sit up in your chair, back straight, close your eyes. Be aware of your center point, the bottom part of your spine, between there and your belly button. And let's just take some nice, easy breaths through the nose and exhale through the mouth, shall we? Okay, here we go. Inhale through the nose. Now breathe low. Big breath, big breath. Fill up the lungs with air. Hold it. And exhale through the mouth loudly. Shh. That's right. Inhale. Here we go. And exhale. Now feel the floor underneath your feet. Feel your chair in the seat. I want you to be actively aware of your lower body. When you're activated and you're aware of your lower body, it opens up the energy channels. When you're in your head or you're stuck in your head, it closes. For you to be healthy energetically, energy's got to keep moving. It's like the hose. Remember when we were kids and we had the garden hose? If there's a kink in the hose, there's no water coming out of there. Even though there's plenty of water, no energy coming out. So let's keep the breath going. Inhale, exhale. Feel the floor underneath your feet. Okay, I always imagine my nose is down at my center point. So I'm concentrating on being down there, I'm completely out of my head. Why? Because when you're moving energy, you're healthy. When energy is stuck, you're not healthy. All right, here we go. Breathe through the nose, nice and low. Hold, exhale. This is moving the energy. We're not just breathing, we're moving energy. Okay, tune into your center point, bottom part of your spine. Let's breathe. Imagine your nose is down there. Let's take a big breath. Here we go. Inhale. Breathe low, like you're breathing into your feet. Hold. Exhale through the mouth. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, now just pause for a minute. And find inside of you a place of compassion. A place of understanding. You've made mistakes. We're not perfect. We've tried to do the best that we can do with what we had. And it's the same thing with mom or dad. So recognizing them by their first name, knowing that they had their fears, they had their uneasiness about having a family, being married, the responsibilities of life. And who knows what kind of trauma they suffered. So right here, right now, can you just say yes to having compassion and understanding for your mom or your dad? Now, if they did something bad to you, it doesn't excuse what they did. Okay, and I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking, at least from this point, can you see that they were in a similar situation that we're in, trying to figure it out, trying to do the best that we could do, trying to have love and compassion. And maybe they made some wrong choices. Can you look at them from one adult to the other adult with compassion, with understanding? And in that compassion and understanding, can you make a decision to let go of any resentment, any make wrong, any wanting vengeance, anything around that, at least for this moment? Can you just move into a place of forgiveness? This turned my life around when I did this exercise. Yes. You know, I was led, I'll lead you. I forgive you, mom or dad, for what you did, for what you didn't do, for what you should have done. You're doing the best you could. And I know in my adult life, I've made mistakes. I've done stuff I wish I hadn't done. And now I understand it's not an easy road. Okay, let's just take a big breath and just breathe in that forgiveness. Breathe it in. Exhale. Breathe it in. Exhale. Breathe it in. Exhale. Now, I'm not asking you to let them off the hook or excuse any bad thing that they did to you. But what I am asking you to do is to let go and forgive that so it doesn't affect you anymore, so that it no longer runs you. So it can be something that happened And you wish it hadn't, or maybe it shouldn't, but it did. And today I'm going to choose to no longer let that thing run me, haunt me, disturb me. I forgive, I release, I let it go right here, right now. Take a breath, inhale. Big breath, breathe all the way down to your feet. Big breath, hold, exhale. That's right. You know, you may have heard in the past, oh, it's important to forgive your parents. It's important to forgive yourself. And, oh, yeah, okay. And you say, okay, well, I'll do that one day. Well, today's the day. Today's the day we are changing the energy between you and whatever parent wronged you. Whether if they're still alive or they're not still alive, it still works. Right here, right now, you're letting go, you're releasing, you're disconnecting all anger, resentment, make wrong, grudges, the whole 9 yards. Not for them, for you. For you, so that it no longer runs you, so that it's no longer something that has to torment you every day. You want to put this to bed. So again, can you say yes to forgiving, to letting go, to releasing any and all resentment, anger, judgment, criticisms, or make wrong against any or both of your parents? Could you say yes to that now? Out loud, yes? How about again? Could you say yes? How about again? Could you say yes? How about again? Could you say yes? Good. Let's take a big breath. Inhale. Exhale the energy. That's right. Expelling the energy. Almost done here. Great. A lot of new people coming on. What we're doing is we're dealing with the energy of any parental issues that are still stuck with us. We've gone through the whole gamut here. We're just finishing up and we're moving the energy. Again, anything and everything that has to do with any hurt that we received, any feeling of being a victim, anything our parents did to us, mom or dad or both, that was unkind or that hurt us. We decide right now to look at it not from a kid, which still holds on to the hurt. A kid will still hold on to the hurt. A kid will still complain of being a victim. A kid will still be reactive to the whole process. Instead, we're looking at it now as adults from a proactive process. From the decision is, I'm an adult now. I can choose the way I want to feel. I can use energy awareness training to let go of any low vibration energy. Doubts, anger, anxiety, fear, worry, memories, all that. I can let that go now. And I choose from this point to forgive, to let go, to disconnect any and all hurts from the past. Not for them necessarily, but for me. So there's no longer that low vibration energy frequency or connection between you two. Okay, let's take an energetic breath. Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath. Hold it for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the energetic breath now. Inhaling for the count of 6. Hold for the count of 3. Exhale for the count of 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Go ahead and put your hands out like that. Parent or both of them are standing in front of you. And what we're going to do is we're going to send them high vibrational energy. Why? Because when we send high vibration energy, we get back high vibration energy. You may have been sending out low vibration. What they did, I can't believe what a jerk, I can't believe it. And what does that bring you back? More low vibration energy, more suffering. We don't want that. We want to feel good, and we want to always be in the high vibration energy. So how do you be in the high vibration energy? You give off high vibrational energy. All right, so here we go. To mom or dad or both or whoever, the one that hurt you, just repeat after me. Mom, Dad, I choose to send you love. I choose to send you forgiveness. I choose to be understanding, to understand that I have no idea what you went through when you were dealing with me. I have no idea how I behaved. Maybe I drove you crazy, or maybe you were dealing with some kind of deep wound or trauma or upset, and maybe you took it out on me that one time or said those things to me. Whatever it was, as an adult, I have nothing but compassion and understanding for you. I forgive you. I bless you wherever you are here in this earth or in the beyond. And I choose to have the energy between you and me only the highest form of love, the highest form of respect, and the highest form of unconditional love. That's my choice. That's my decision. I wish you healing. I wish you blessings. Thank you for being a channel to teach me what I needed to learn. Again, thank you for being the channel, the messenger, for teaching me what I needed to learn out of this thing. Wherever you are, here or in the beyond, I send you love. I send you peace. Thank you for all you did do for me. And if you did nothing else but bring me into this world, then I'm grateful for that. Because I have the opportunity here not to be bitter, but to be better. I've let go of the bitterness and I choose to be better. That's my choice, so be it, and so it is. Here we go. Let's take an energetic breath. Tune into your center point, the bottom part of your spine, and take a breath through your nose for the count of 6. Here we go. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath. Hold for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale through the mouth. So we have energy flows, vibrational energy. And as we put our attention there, as we breathe, we keep the energy channels open and the energy flowing. Thank you. Thank you. I choose to forgive myself for what I did, for what I didn't do, for what I should have done. I choose to forgive myself for beating myself up or not feeling worthy or going in a different direction. So call yourself by name. Glenn, I forgive you. I love you. I bless you. You're doing the best you can. I'm not going to beat you up. I want to build you up. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are a joy and a blessing in this world. Breathe that in. Exhale. That's right. That's right. That's right. And to the Creator, whoever that is to you, to source energy, you can call it God, source, creator, universe. I want to let go of any resentment. And I want to thank you for my beloved, wonderful life that I have now. Yes, I have challenges. Yes, I'm dealing with stuff, but I am so blessed. And just think of the things right now as we get ready to close. Just think of 3 things that you're grateful for. What's number 1? What are you grateful for? How about somebody to love in your life, whoever it is? Cool. Number 2, that you live in the Western world and you have food and you have shelter and maybe you have money. And 3, you name it. And that's a high vibration energy zone. And when we're in that zone of gratitude, we're in that zone of completion, connection, we're in high vibration. 5, 6, excellent. Now think about the people that you love in your life. Your spouse, it could be your mom and dad, your kids, whoever it is. And realize you were taught a lesson on what not to do as well as what to do to love and cherish the people you care about most. And that's a priceless lesson, to know what it is to be kind, to be tender, to be sweet, to open up your heart fearlessly with those that you love. And if your parents taught you a lesson around that, God bless them. We are so thankful and grateful for our blessed life. To the divine presence that makes all that is, we are thankful and grateful and move forward in high vibration energy, in love, forgiveness, compassion, and wholeness. So be it, and so it is. One more inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big breath hold for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Good. Come on back. Now, that was a light exercise, but it still moved the energy. We still cleared some stuff. We still opened up some energy frequencies here so that you're hopefully you feel in your heart some deep love, some deep gratitude. That's all high vibrational energy. As I mentioned before, I teach energy awareness training. This is part of a comprehensive training that covers energy in every aspect of life. I have 10 levels of this, dealing with relationships, health, career, memories, stuff that you've been through, clearing it out. It's the most fascinating thing I've ever learned and studied, and now I teach it. If you want more information about this, there's a site you can go to. It's called Energy Awareness Secrets. Enter 3 words, energyawareness.secrets.com. Energyawareness.secrets.com. As I mentioned, I have a YouTube channel. Appreciate you coming on there and subscribing. I do give you a lot of information of what's going on here. You can always contact me through Facebook Messenger if you have any questions about what's happening. I hope this has been a help to you. I do broadcasts like this regularly. I'm going to do another one tonight, probably around 7 o'clock here, on maybe expanding on this topic. Invite you to join me. And let me just go over a couple of the blessings to everyone here. Thank you. You're very welcome. Francis, you're welcome. Caroline, you're welcome. All of you who've been on this, I hope this has helped you. I want you to have a great Mother's Day. And if your mom's still around, tell her you love her. Call her and tell her you love her. All right? All right, you guys. Love and blessings. See you soon. Bye for now.